There was a man who worked the same job for 12 years, same desk, same salary, same fear eating him alive every single day. He wasn't lazy, he wasn't stupid, but he was trapped by something invisible, something that kept him poor while others around him got rich. This is his story, and if you've ever felt stuck, this might change everything. Meet David, 28 years old, college graduate, smart guy. Every morning he walked into that gray office building, sat at his desk, and did exactly what he was told. Nothing more, nothing less. His salary? Barely enough to pay rent and buy groceries. While his college friends started businesses, got promotions, traveled the world, David stayed exactly where he was. His mother would ask, "David, why don't you ask for a raise? Why don't you look for a better job?" David would smile and say, "I'm comfortable here, Mom." But inside, a voice whispered the truth. What if they say no? What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? Fear lived in David's chest like a heavy stone. Every time he thought about asking for a promotion, his heart raced, his palms got sweaty, his mind filled with terrible pictures, his boss laughing at him, coworkers whispering behind his back, getting fired and having no money for food. So he stayed quiet, safe, poor. One day, David overheard his boss talking to another manager. "We need someone bold for the new project, someone who takes risks. David's a nice guy, but he never speaks up. He never shows initiative." Those words hit David like a punch to the stomach. That night, David sat in his tiny apartment, eating instant noodles again, looking at his empty bank account. He was 28, living like a college student, watching life pass him by. His fear wasn't protecting him, it was destroying him. But David still couldn't move. The fear was too strong, too real, too comfortable. Then came the day that changed everything. David was walking home from work, taking the same route he'd taken for 12 years, when he saw something that stopped him cold. An old man, maybe 70 years old, sitting on a park bench, feeding pigeons with shaky hands. David had seen this man before, but today something was different. The old man looked defeated, tired, alone. David sat down next to him. "You look familiar," David said gently. The old man smiled sadly. "I used to work in that building," he pointed to David's office. 43 years, same desk, same fear, every single day. David's blood went cold. "I had so many ideas, so many dreams, but I was always afraid to speak up, afraid to take risks, afraid to fail." The old man looked directly into David's eyes. "Son, I spent 43 years being safe, and you know what I got? Nothing. No wealth, no adventure, no pride. Just nothing." The old man stood up slowly. "Don't be me, son. Don't waste your life being afraid of living it." David sat on that bench for 2 hours after the old man left. For the first time, he saw his fear for what it really was. It wasn't protecting him, it was slowly killing him. Every day he chose safety over growth. He was choosing poverty over possibility. That night, David made a decision that terrified him. He wrote an email to his boss, not asking for a raise, not begging for a promotion. He proposed a new project, something bold, something risky, something that could change everything. His hands shook as he typed, his heart pounded as he attached his detailed plan. His fear screamed at him to delete it all. But David hit send. Then he did something he'd never done before. He started looking for other jobs, better jobs, jobs that scared him because they required more than he thought he could give. The man who had hidden for 12 years was finally stepping into the light. 3 months later, David had 2 job offers, both paid double his old salary. His boss, impressed by his bold project proposal, offered him the promotion he'd been too afraid to ask for. But here's the real lesson David learned. Fear doesn't keep you safe, it keeps you small. The thing you're most afraid of losing, you've probably already lost by being afraid. David wasn't poor because he lacked talent. He wasn't poor because he lacked opportunity. He was poor because he chose the comfort of fear over the uncertainty of growth. Most people think courage means not being afraid, but David learned something deeper. Courage means being afraid and acting anyway. The one thing that changed David's life wasn't a skill or a strategy or a secret technique. It was the moment he decided his dreams were bigger than his fears. Today, David runs his own company. He's not rich because he stopped being afraid. He's rich because he stopped letting fear make his decisions. Every morning he walks past that park bench where he met the old man, and every morning he remembers the choice he made, the choice between a safe, small life and a scary, big one. Fear will always be there, but it doesn't have to be in control. Your dreams are on the other side of your fears. The only question is, which one will you choose? If this story touched you, like, share, and subscribe for more stories that change lives.